Alright, let's see. I'm doing the Gridania one first. Oh, there's voices. Okay.
The 3 seed seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
Moo.
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelves Wood.
I'm gonna mute my mic so I can watch this and listen in.
Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer.
Is that Sam Riegel?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their
So are
memory.
all of the all these events have this cutscene going on?
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
For the children. For the children. For the children. For the children.
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service.
Althanad and Alize. Okay.
I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have continued with 2 beast tribes. The Zaxili are unquestionably the most troublesome, being of unnaturally warlike disposition and wont to summoning the bloodthirsty primal Garuda? The Sliffs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians. Until recently, at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, and a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love of war. They considered open conflict as a last resort. Though they clash with the Zaxil ever more regularly, you may rest assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sliffs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one knows how long it would go before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I wager. Meanwhile, the Zaxil continue their incursions, spurred by the Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to an all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Trinadder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them, then? Well, perhaps we'll find out, if the eldest Seedseer's words fell on fertile ground. I'm be real, I'm probably not gonna go with a Twin Adder.
We're gonna be Gridania buddies?
No, I'm not going with Twin Adder. I know you picked them.
Well, what? Why would you know that?
Because that's you. Fucking hippie wood 12 woods people.
You know, for as much as I love the aesthetic, I hate the actual outside in real life.
It's like I'm not feeling it. I'm going by what Losa would pick. Okay. Olda, let's see what you got going on. Are the twins here too?
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanimal herself.
Yes.
Whoa!
Reborn as well.
That's a little sultana.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Reborn! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldar have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand
There they
Company's
are.
standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation
Hey, Crate, see you later,
has given
man.
the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair...
Solve Crate, how you guys doing? You guys doing good? Good weekend? Happy to see you stop by for a little bit. Appreciate you.
And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or
Yeah, I saw you guys play Back for Blood a little bit. I know my friend Ashwood has been playing a lot of it lately. Yeah, he still does. He fucking stream sniped me a couple times. He's a sneaky little cat bastard.
Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Yeah, for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Are you gonna speak?
Your grace.
Reborn,
Oh, man. What the fuck?
people of Ul'dah.
What was that?
I,
The goddamn parrot.
17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah.
It's a fucking bedazzled parrot on his shoulder.
Yet those who measured that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her. I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ulda, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune.
These secondary
Stride
voices.
fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth, the time is now!
Oh yeah, Saw ambushed me a couple times when I was getting out of like a cutscene and threw emotes at me. It was pretty funny. The Uldas have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worship the primal Ifrit. Oh yeah, I know Ifrit, we kicked his ass. Nah. Judging by your look at the taste, I take it you've encountered them. The Ulda do not shy from confrontation. If Alt threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So they have dealt with Ifrit thus far, smoldering his flames each time he is stroked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Galarians have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and the Ulda have no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, it's not even the Sultana's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming that they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. So they just re-summon back the primals? Like...
I mean, in theory they can.
Well, they're just saying every time they keep doing it, that they keep just summoning Ifrit back again. This is just an issue. Every time they do so, the Aldanes send their forces to smite the primal. And though they invariably succeed, each victory is sought with blood. There's a war of attrition, which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventure of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. Oh, it does seems more like kind of meatheads. You know?
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Whenever this one walks up, I just get like Sasuke Kiryu's theme starts playing in my head a little bit.
Wait, really?
Like just like for a brief moment, with like especially when I saw her boots and the heel click on the ground.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. 700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck, 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Mervyn!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
Does your sister talk, or you just speak for her? As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Lisa Minza is plagued by 2 beast tribes. First are the fish-like Sahagwin, which was the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As the beast tribe's presence wasn't so troublesome enough, the Galarians, whichever one, have also chosen to erect a fortress right in Laminza's backyard. And that is to say, not for the infernal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Galarians whet their blades and watch. If the Lamintians are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat must be dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that we will soon make a decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom standard will be drenched in a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond a question. Okay. Oh yeah, my piece, Losa, this has been Philia. You're well, I hope? Would I be correct in thinking that the final... How did you know? You spying on me? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence. Wow. Crazy.
Hey, gotta keep that story moving. Let's go.
Gotta get them plot points going, you know.
Gotta keep it moving, kids.
Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests, the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Walking Sands. It is It would not do well to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back! Hope they give me more of those tickets to teleport back here, because I don't want to keep having to... I don't want to run out of those. Oh, huh.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity?
You sound kind of bitter about that.
No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience.
Oh, so that's why they were all visiting. All those ceremonies. That dude looked like a fucking inflated Travis touchdown.
There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it.
Is that like royalty or
We
something?
share the burden of this fate, dear sister.
I forgot how much of a non-character she is in this.
The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Okay, which one?
Me? Alpha Node. Not Alpha Node, Alizé, sorry.
Alizé?
Yeah, Alizé is like a non-character right now.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking to myself about which grand company to choose.
Oh, which one? Well, wait, you don't want yellow.
I think I'm gonna go with La Mensa.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because Flame, the Flame one is like riches and glory and all stuff like that, but they seem kind of like stupid and meatheads. And this one is about conflict and kind of internal strife, but there seems like there's more of a sense of like honor and duty amongst them, I'd say, at least with the higher ups. Even though I'm not big on the pirating lifestyle, I respect the Admiral.
Oh, Admiral's great.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with them. They're red, right? Wait. Yeah, they're Storm, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because they're wearing red, and then like also the Flame guy's wearing blue. So I'm like, wait, what?
Well, and if I remember right, in Limsa they have the yellow jackets, don't they?
Yeah. So it's like even more confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay. With the Admiral's speech, but you need not explain. That you stand before me is answer enough. You have resolved to join the Maelstrom, have you not? That's the spirit, lass. With allies like you, how much stronger is our crew. Let us brave the seas together, friend. Now the choice is made. It's time to add your name to our rolls. Make your way to Lisa La Mensa. Seek out our Grand Company's headquarters. Maelstrom Command is located in the upper deck. I will send word to our personal officer to expect you. duties of the Maelstrom soldier can be arduous and challenging, but I promise you, you will not regret this choice. May your passage be swift and your bearings sure.
All right. The choice is made.